everybody. Thanks for tuning back in. It's Lee here, Crypto Mainly. Just going to go jump straight into the markets today. Just after very briefly thanking everybody. 144 subscribers on my channel. Everything's going really well. The average views, the average click-throughs, number of subscribers, the hours of watch, all those things are all going in the right direction. Thank you very much for liking and subscribing. Please press the bell for notifications, and I will try and help you along the way as we navigate this this choppy environment, shall we say, that we're in at the moment. So I'm just going to show you today, just jump into the charts and just show you how I've been trading this today. So I'm on a very short time frame here, as you can see. I'm on a 15-minute time frame with the market like it is. That is it's a very brave thing to be doing. Is to be trying to trade this chop. However, I'm feeling brave today, feeling lucky. So I decided to take on the challenge. As you can see, as I say, this is a 15-minute chart, but as you can see, when we're talking about chop, I mean, we came down, we broke through this support line here, which if I just show you on a larger time frame. Let me just get rid of that. So if we just go up a couple of time frames. So we were talking about this descending support line. We've got a touch point here, a touch point there, and obviously the touch points here. And as we zoom in, we can see that in terms of choppy trading, we actually broke down. We broke down past the descending support line down at the bottom there. We then started to form this rising channel. So I have been trading this rising channel. We did see a little bit at first. We did see a little bit of a pennant forming, which I'll show you. So you've got. So we've got like a pennant forming. I did wonder whether this was going to break to the downside, because obviously it could be a pennant here after this considerable downside move could have meant that the price broke down. No, Bitcoin's got other ideas. Wanted to trick us into thinking that we're going to be off to the races more sooner. We actually broke out again above this rising channel. However, if we take a measured move of the rising channel here, we can actually see that when from the point of breakout, that we actually that move did complete. So yeah, so it's not surprising to see that it did complete, and then it rolled back over. I was looking for support to hold here. It didn't, clearly, and we got this a failed move equals a fast move in the opposite direction, which is what we got here. So we had a breakout, it failed, support failed, and then we had a fast move to the downside. So a nice trade position for here. If you take the measured move from the top of the wick to the low, the measured move actually takes us down below this support line, and we haven't yet quite completed that. Now I do wonder, you've got a 78.6 level here. So this 78.6 level is the low of this peak up to the high. So the 78.6 retracement it is a usual bounce point. It's a very strong point where you would expect the interest to actually come back in. So the buying interest to come back in at the 78.6. And as you can see, we are getting that bounce already. So I mean, as I say, this is a very small time frame. If I take it down to a 15-minute, actually, this is how I was trading on a 15-minute, and you can see just as I said, just how choppy it was here and here. Broke back down, it's come back down, and now it's coming back up. It may just come up and just retest, just do a bearish retest. So it's come down, bounced, may just do a bearish retest at the bottom of the channel, and then get the continuation. We don't really want to see this support line break, really. I mean, if we do, then then we're going to see some considerable downside move from there. Just going back to the chart, this is the same chart that we've been looking at over the last few days, but going on a 15-minute time frame here, it does look very different. If I just just show you the chart, and you'll recognise it on a wider scale. So this is the this is the chart that we've been looking at. We took a short position, as you remember. Took an entry, 1, 2, 3 entries, and we took the short, and obviously I took some profits, personally speaking, in this support area here. As I was wondering whether it would actually break down, it took a while to break down, and obviously eventually it did. And now we're finding support on this lower support trend line here. I'm surprised actually that it's held as well as it has, to be honest with you. because you know, when it comes to support and resistance, usually it does, you know, one factor, if you like, is that how many eyes are looking at it from the market participants. Um, but yeah, I mean, so we have got a decent bounce here. So what am I expecting? This is getting a little messy now, and you know, obviously I've been trading short term here, so I'm going to show you a fresh chart in a minute, and we'll start again, and I'll see if I can make it clearer for you. But just zooming in on here, if we look at an hourly time frame. This is what I'd be looking for. We've had the bounce off the 78.6 now. You know, I think that this support may hold. I still think we're going to get this test up to the 44,500 or the 45,000 area, which is our blue box. You know, the blue box that we were looking at for a long time in this chart. So, uh, it, it basically what we're looking at there is this, this line here. So this where are we? Oops. Hello. What on there? Where's it gone? There it is. Okay. So yeah. So the top of this blue box, if you like, is this dotted line here, which obviously we were lots of people in the market looking at this reaccumulation ascending triangle, which we've spoken about a number of times in the past. So I won't keep going over the same thing, but you know, that's what we're looking at, and I still think that we may get a bounce up to here before we actually get the continuation to the downside. What would that look like? Okay, so this is a fresh chart. So let me just draw some trend lines and bits and pieces on here for you, just to get rid of all the noise and things from my daily trading chart. Because I know that, you know, some of you will understand what I'm doing with that, and other people will just look at it and think it's just a mess, and you know, how are you supposed to read what I'm trying to show you? So forgive me for a moment, just while I draw out some lines for you. Uh, so that is the that looks too big. Let's put that down to 2. Okay. So as you can see there, that is the 44,550 mark. So that is the area that we were watching for the support, sorry, the resistance, which kept rejecting from this resistance area here, and then obviously eventually broke through here. Just creating what the market was looking at is, you know, kind of this type of scenario here, which, as I say, on this one is the blue triangle here, if you like. So yeah, this is what most people were looking at, in fact, as being the bullish breakout, if you like, of this reaccumulation pattern. But as we've said, as we've been watching, if you've been watching my channel since, actually, incidentally, my channel only started on the 20th of March. So, you know, if you look at the 144 subscribers, please don't be put off by that. It's actually a brand new channel. It's a new venture for me, as some of you know. But I don't want people to look at that and be put off by the fact that actually there's only, you know, some people will gauge how many viewers and how many subscribers a person's got as to, you know, their sort of technical competence and things, and the factor of the content that they're providing. But as you can see, we've got this rising channel. I think actually now, you know, this blue triangle, I think, is going to be sort of, you know, not really relevant anymore. So I'm going to actually make that a lot lighter, just to remind us in the future that we were looking at that at one point. I'm going to take that off. And I've also got this little dotted line here is actually actually the channel that we were talking about when I was trying to show you, by way of highlighting it in the past, that was what we'd be looking at. I'm going to take that off the chart as well now, because I think I need to clean this up. So as you can see, so going back to this, obviously a rising wedge like this is a bearish pattern, and the target would be the bottom of the wedge. So if we put if we get the breakdown, of course, then the target would be all the way down to the bottom of the wedge, which, if my mouse decides to, there you go. So just looking at that target there, so 32,900 is the measured move, if you like, if we get this breakdown. I think that we will. I think it's coming. But let's go back to the first chart that we were looking at. So yeah, so on a smaller scale, this is actually on a daily now. If we start to drill into this, pop this down into a 4-hour chart. We've spoken about the fib levels before, so I'm just going to, there'll be people that say you should be, measuring from the bottom. I understand that that's, the accurate way of actually measuring this entire move is actually from the bottom of the fib to the top here. Okay, which is fine. The 0.5 level there is at about 40,500. Personally speaking, I'm just, where I'm trading smaller time frames, shorter time frames, I'm interested in this impulsive move and what the retracement is for there. And you'll see that actually the 78.6 is around about the 0.5 if you do the bottom to the top. So it's, a similar scenario basically. But if you we've done a couple of things on this chart here previously, where we were measuring a few different points of data. So I'm just going to draw those out for you again. So if we look at the top to the bottom of the neckline here, just okay. So we've got this topping pattern, which I'll just show you. So you've got a series of highs and a series of lower highs, and you've got a neckline here. So hence the measure from the top to the neckline, and then if you move that down right to the end of the wick, because that's where you would measure it from. So it's the top of the wick to the bottom of the wick, and then you measure right to the edge of the wick down to the bottom. Interestingly, it's coming out around about the 78.6, which is what we've been talking about before.
Bounds.
Just move that across for you. So that that's the 78.6 there. Another way of another point of interest is if we draw this. So I don't think the mouse wants to work for me today. I think my battery mainly charged up in the mouse. Actually, it keeps doing weird things. So I'm sorry. Just bear with me while I just mess around with this. Come on. Okay, so if we consider this corrective move here, and then if we consider that we get a bounce somewhere either up to the neckline there, or you'll also notice that that there's like a band 44,500 up to around about the 45,000 mark, is where we were looking. So yeah, I mean, going back to this, if you take the measured move, let me just get rid of that, these blue horrible looking highs at the top there. If we get some kind of bounce from here, which will look something along the region of something like, so something like this, and then back down. Probably not quite so. It would probably, I think, actually look more something like, it'll actually probably be a bit steeper than that, and then come down. Okay, so if we look at that now, if we do get this bounce, which I am anticipating, you will get, if you move this to somewhere in the belt in the bounce region. Let's call it the center between these two key points here. If we put the measure right from the center there, you'll notice that you'll notice that the 78.6 there, you've pretty well, almost exactly, got confluence here with these two measurements, this one and this one. So you got this one here and this one here. So yeah, I mean, why do I think we're going to get the bounce first? Well, if we zoom in back to my smaller time frames again, you'll see here on like a, let's put it onto like a 30-minute time frame. You can see actually it's already starting to form. You've got like this W in sensation, so you've got a. Let me just grab the. So you've got a low here, got a low here, and we're beginning to create this low here. If we look on a 4-hour time frame, you've got this is the similar situation here. You've got this pattern forming here, which a low and then high lows would indicate that this is a form of bottom, provided we don't break down below the low part of this wick here. So if we're looking at the low part there, so let's bear in mind this is a 4-hour time frame. Making a pig's ear of this today. So yeah, on the hourly here, you've got this sensation already forming. So which is the going back to this chart, the low and the high low there. Okay, which if we go to, we'll come back to that one in a moment. Okay, so yeah, I mean, if we do get this pattern forming here, the measured move, if you like, is going to be from the base to the high there. I'm just going to turn the magnet off for a moment. So it's actually to this peak here. Okay, and then you'd obviously move the arrow there to give you your measured move, and look where it is. So these things don't really happen by accident, guys. As you can see, you've got lots of things which are suggesting that this is going to happen. We're going to get a W in bottom pattern here, which is obviously being created by the fact that we're bouncing from. Let's just see it better on a lower time frame. Okay, so we did, this descending support line here is the same as this one here. So you can see that it did try to break down. In fact, I can imagine that there were people jumping into short positions here, only for the price to reverse, come back up. So this choppiness really has been quite tricky to trade, actually, in actual fact today. Um, but yeah, you get the idea, guys. Hopefully, I'm explaining myself well enough. But you've got this type of pattern happening. If you measure the measure of that bottoming pattern would be the bottom here, the measure from there to the peak, which is this arrow here, and then you move the arrow basically. So you've got the bottom to the top there. You move the arrow. That takes us into the range of around the 45,000 mark, which would make sense. Incidentally, that is around about the 0.5. If we draw top to the bottom there, that's the 0.5. You see the fib level there. So again, another key point that this measured move comes up to the 0.5, which is around about the 45,000 mark, and then we get this rolling over sensation, and we go down, to the last part of this corrective move. So we're going to get some nice bounce action, and then roll over, and then come back down to complete this move. Depending on how quickly it happens and when it happens, this blue line, is going to be, it's just a bit of a squiggle on the chart at the moment. It's not very not very well drawn. It's not like there's nothing technical about that pattern. It's just me trying to give you an indication visually of what's going to happen there. As you can see, this move from here to here was very steep. So we may get a nice steep move up into this area and then a steep drawdown. So, be careful, guys, when we get up into this area, anywhere between 45,000 and 45,500. So 45,000 is the zero point 0.5 and 45,500 is the 61.8 impulse bullish move, if you like, from the from this corrective move. So it's the AB equals CD would take us still, even if we get back up to the 45,500 mark. Even if we do get back up there, just be prepared, guys. That doesn't mean that this move is over. It's actually, it would be perfect confluence with us getting to that point, reaching the 0.5 or the 0.618, and then rolling over and then completing this downward corrective move. I don't think it's complete yet, and we'll come back down to the bottom of the channel. And then I think when we get to the bottom of the channel, which is around about the 40,000, 40,000 to 41,000, shall we say, for round numbers. When we get down there, I think there's going to be a huge amount of buying interest that comes in and holds us above this support line. I don't think we're going to break down below this support line and go down to these lower moves at sort of 30, where's that, 32,000, 33,000. It is possible. This is a rising channel, a rising wedge, as it were. And these types of patterns actually statistically have a 68% chance of breaking to the downside. But I suspect that all of this, I think personally, as I've been saying for 10 days or more now, this was your bull trap area. Okay, everybody's started to go long. Now we're going to get down to these levels here, and I think that's going to be your bear trap area where everybody starts. We may even break down below this support, so watch out for something where we we go up, we come back down, we break through support. I don't know why my mouse keeps doing that. So we go up. Oh, hello. I'll try again. So we go up, we come back down, we break through support, we come up for the retest, start to roll over. Everyone thinks that's it. Everybody starts to go short here, thinking that we're going to get this continuation down to the bottom of the channel. Okay, and then we've had our bear trap, our bull trap rather, at the top. So everybody's bullish. Everyone thinks we've broken out above 45,000. Everybody's bullish here. Everybody's going long. Everybody's buying altcoins and going crazy in the market. And only to find that we get the rolling over. And now watch for this here, because this is the next part of the trap. Is if we get down below that support level and then we come up to retest, I wouldn't be at all surprised if we look like we're rejecting. We get something like that, and then then we'll get something which kick-starts us into the summer. There's a few rumours going around at the moment. I don't like to spread rumours, and so I won't get into that. But there are a few indications that we may be getting some big news from some big players in the market. So I'm not going to get into that because, as I say, people might take my word as gospel and think I've got inside information and things like that. When in actual fact, I have got some inside information, I have to say, but not enough to to be like that I would I'd bet the farm on it. That's not what I do at all. So yeah, I think we're going to get something like this. This is going to be the zone to watch in the summer, which is around about anywhere between the 55. Oh, this isn't working. 55 to 58. That's supposed to be. But yeah, watch out for that, guys, in the summer as well. 55 to 58. That is going to be a key area. That's the golden pocket. Okay, and it's the zone that we've been talking about here on this chart. This one here, the target region. So as you can see there, you've got the anywhere I'd say between 55 and 58,000. I think is area for caution. I think that's going to be the next where we get the next big deeper correction from there. But hopefully that's helped, guys. That's just my take on things. I just want to show you this last chart. This is one that we've been talking about before. This was a cleaner chart that I draw for you before. You may recall that we were looking at this triangle, just the triangular pattern there, because we didn't have the data to realise that this actually was a rising wedge at that point. But as you can see, it's still interesting to see that this chart is still current and valid. You'll also notice that the lower part of the support line, if you like, if we come back down and test that, is at around about the sort of 41,500 mark, which is also interesting. 41,500 on this chart is somewhere here. Very interesting. So you've got confluence of this pattern and a bounce at around 41,500, followed by confluence of us coming up here, getting a rejection, having an ABC correction, coming down, retesting these areas here, which is also, as you can see from that chart, it's actually, there is a separate descending resistance line there, which we could actually add on to this and draw onto this chart as well. In fact, there's no harm in doing that. So you know, to put it onto this chart, well, it would be something like. I'll tell you what, I'm going to turn this magnet off. It's driving up the wall. But yeah, it'll be something like this. Why does my mouse keeps deleting what I'm trying to draw? Okay, so again, you know, this area here is going to be critical. There's lots of things pointing towards this area as being where we end up, and lots of, I think that's where we're going to get our biggest bounce and our kickstart into the summer. All that I'll say is there's in the next couple of days, so within the, you know, this side of the weekend, I think there's going to be an announcement from a huge company which is going to be the kickstart for this, and there's no doubt about that. Just the news and the size of the company that's involved with the news is going to have a massive impact. So I think that the market makers are pushing the prices down at the moment, and there's going to be a catalyst where we get, you know, looking like we're all breaking down, and there'll be this key player, a huge, you know, one of the most recognised brands in the world, making an announcement, which will be the kickstart of our summer alt season that we're all looking forward to. Okay, guys, thanks ever so much for listening to me waffling on. I really appreciate you all, and for giving me the opportunity of doing this. I actually look forward to doing it every day. And don't, you know, it's not financial advice. Please don't take it as gospel. Anything can happen in the market. There are some big forces and big players at play, and the geopolitical situation as well to add to the mix of things. So, you know, please be careful, guys. Trade with care. Use your stop losses. Be sensible. Position size and risk management video is coming. I just need to find out a way and work out a way to present that to you in a way that's interesting, which, you know, we'll talk about risk management and boring things like that. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that in a way that's going to be appealing to you, but I'll work it out and then I'll get that out to you. Thanks ever so much for listening. Always remember, guys, take profits and buy something real. All the best. Take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow.